Greetings, everyone. Thank you for being here. It is such an honor to be here with you. Please confirm that you can hear me and see me good. I'm going to begin our introductions as you confirm that for me. I am Aurora. I am the founder of A.U.R.A Hypnosis Healing, as well as I am an author, the author to Galactic Soul History of the Universe book series. Book one, 740 pages. It goes through the universe's history, the universe's journey through different past life regressions of different beings internationally. If you're looking for a self-activating book that will attune you and activate you yourself, working with the benevolence, that is the book that you're looking for that will transform your life, as every single video that we share correlates with this book, as well as all the teachings that we talk about through our sacred alchemy and so on. Good, you can hear us. Thank you. Thank you. It is an honor to be here with you today. As you saw, it is the title's Galactic War. You are the deadliest weapon. Let me explain. We're going to be explaining what that means. In other words, your love, your power, your source, your I am is the most powerful weapon in invincibility. Beautiful. So I wanted, so if you haven't had a chance to write questions, please write it here under your comments. We do also have questions from the previous ones. And before we continue, if you have not listened to the two third world split video, as well as Galactic War two third world split, you want to watch both of these videos before you watch this video, because this is, you can say, a third part to that series. Thank you. Minnie is here. She's supervising chat. If you are a troll, if you are posing as a positive being, but you are here to infringe upon this session, you're not, we do not consent to you. So keep your negative comments and your negative entities to yourself. Thank you. All right, you can find my information in my website, risingphoenixaurora.com, as well as you can support this video as well as all other videos, everything that we do under Patreon for $4 a month. Thank you. Okay, so write your questions there. Thank you. Thank you for all the love, you all. Thank you. You all are so beautiful as well. All right. Wonderful. Now let's continue. Let's begin with today. So this video is all about empowerment, sovereignty, igniting our source energy, igniting our memory, bringing forth a organic blueprint to our creational being, our existence every day. Okay. The first thing that we wanted to start off with today is we wanted to talk about specifically, there was this dream that was shared with me recently, and I thought it was extremely powerful, empowering, and soul activating, heart activating, sovereignty activating. So I wanted to share this with you. This is into connection to specifically the Matrix. As some of you who have watched, I would highly recommend that video. You can watch it under Laura Eisenhower's video YouTube channel, which, by the way, if you're not part of her subscriptions, you can sign up. I'm actually going to be teaching a class tomorrow for her her specific subscribers, where she, on her Gaia, I believe it's something Cosmic Gaia TV. If you sign up, I believe you're able to be part of this class. We're going to go into the galactic history. We're going to talk about alien races, and it's going to be phenomenal. So hope to see you there. If you haven't signed up to it, you can find her information under her YouTube channel. All right, and I'd love to see you there supporting her. As we know, she is absolutely phenomenal, and this class is going to be explosive in many ways. Divinely explosive. Okay. And yes, that is, I believe, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, MST. All right. Let's begin. So this stream, let's go into it. In the stream, this is a parts and pieces of what they showed me of the matrix, the inverted matrix, and how we're constantly working out to spring out, birth out divinely out of the inverted matrix into the organic original soul blueprint that we created and agreed upon, before we birth. So this specific dream is in direct correlation to that, as well as many other teachings that you will learn through. Specifically, if you become Aura Hypnosis certified, we go into a deep matrix presentation in depth. And then also in the book, last chapter, if you want to get more in depth to that, where we go through the process of why we are here, and we give away, we release the fact that we are victims, because we are not. Okay. So you can check out more information there under our book, Galactic Soul History of the Universe. Now, within this book, it began with a demonstration in understanding 111s and love to the earth. And always the beautiful children and the mothers to be that are carrying babies within them. Okay. Now, going through, and we are specifically this dream, what it is it's a representation. As we know, dreams are actually messages from our higher self, our galactic, our soul families, and they're very real. We're traveling the dimensions to receive these messages through the delta brainwaves. Okay, so and then as I went and I was viewing this, you could say through a bird's eye view, a bilo a bilocational way, where I was viewing it from above, not being, say, inside of it. It began with this river of energy that we would have to go through. This river, what Archangel Metatron has always explained to me, which is our beautiful brother here behind me, Metatron has always explained to me that life in itself is like a river. You are within a canoe, a boat, and everyone has an individual canoe. It is a choices that we make every day that we decide in which way we're going to steer our canoe. Our canoe, whether it be left, right, forward, which way are we going to angle it? East, west, north, not one way in this example being, say, a wrong way. So we are the steerers of our boats with our paddles. And as we go through this canoe, as we go through these waters that could be seen as tribulation, tribulations, like a storm in many ways. There are strong waves that can steer you in a certain way, strong waves that can even steer you off the boat, where anytime you have dreams where, for example, someone's drowning, you're drowning, that means that you are deeply in the inverted matrix, and you are, say, drowning energetically and sinking in. Okay. So times like that. And as you're going through this river, you have to watch out for, the storms, all of that, right? That comes with being on a boat. And you can also be journeying this specific boat with your family, your direct family, your spouse, your children, your, grandchildren. There's many choices that come forth along the way. Many, as you know, through families, can be lost to the deep waters. And when we talk about these waters, they're a bit, you could feel them and sense them, like the waters are not a good water. Of course, there's the beautiful water of the oceans, what we always talk about, cleansing. But this water we're talking about, it is the false water of the archonic energy that has that has integrated in many forms into our matrix that is organic as we choose to walk it, which we'll talk about that in a little. And then there's the artificial or inverted, right? So this river can be a river that you are choosing to either walk within its, to sail within its purity, organic, crystalline formation, what is meant to be. And then you can choose within many processes of your mental, physical, thought form, spiritual points of views and decisions to roll within it in a form where you are rolling within, say, like a river of death, a river that is not of light, a river that is tainted with many souls and black magic, dark blood, and it's just so you could understand. Okay, so it's your choosing which path you walk, you sail upon. Now, along the way, you know, some of your loved ones within the boats can be estrayed, and those that hold the strongest light within the boat will continue to anchor the light, be that like the, you know, Statue of Liberty holding that torch up for everyone as we continue to be like a grid, like the center, say, grid of a family unit. Okay, now I needed to explain this river first before we go into this understanding. So then as you're going through this river, now we're going to talk about it in a individual perspective, no longer say a family perspective. Now we're going to talk about it through many different souls journeying through this river. In this specific example of what they were trying to show me of the inverted matrix and how to come out of the inverted matrix into our most organic path, organic matrix, organic blueprint, they showed me multiple people within a boat. And we will say four people within a boat. I believe it might have been five people. There is a specific spot within this, we'll say, canoe that sits five people, that there were lines and lines of rows of people that needed to cross this river to, say, reach the promised land, the 5D source itself, to reach that. They call it the promised land, which is gorgeous. We'll talk about that as well. Now, as they were going within this canoe, and it was individual people, not a family, it was individual people that were going on this journey, might have known each other or might, you know, not be in the direct family unit. And there was one spot within this canoe that was a guaranteed to safety spot. In this example, it was set up so that what they explain is like the brightest light would sit within this spot in the canoe. As they traveled through this valley, almost river, but waterfall, what would happen is that they would go through, and there would be a you know how there is, say, a man that was in charge of the canoes, that was in charge of placing the one with the brightest light, the one that was going to make it through this journey with the highest potential. He would scan the people and put them in that specific spot. We'll just call it left top side of the canoe. And then that spot, it was always, say, guaranteed that this being of light would make it through and past, because that's the way it was set up for these readings of light of people. Okay. Now, once they reached the end of the in this scenario, so there he's loading basically people canoes, different paths. Everyone has multi-dimensional paths, right? And they're going through this journey on this river that can be seen as the river of death. As they're going through it, then he comes across this one group where there is two females, two males, three males total, and then three males and two females. One of the males, the man says, okay, you're going to sit in this spot. And everyone's in line and they're watching as everyone goes through this journey, because it's like a line that you can't get out of. It's like you're forced through it. It's similar to the inverted, you could understand it like the inverted recycling of souls that happen here. It's like you go through this lining up and you can't get out of it until you get a send out from it. Okay. Now, as they're going through, he chooses the five, and the five next, and then the one that is the particular light that is going to overcome this journey sits on that specific spot. This being, male being, says he was paying attention to everything, was noticing what was happening when they would reach the end of this river. And he says, no, I'm not going to sit in the spot. He says, what do you mean? If you don't sit in the spot, this is a guaranteed that you will live through this and be able to ascend out from this and not say be recycled. And he says, no, watch me. I'm going to get out of this. And it was an angel. I can't tell you what angel was. And then beautiful, pure angel. He says, no, I'll take this spot. He chooses one of the males. He says, you sit in my spot. I'll sit right here on the right forward front. And the guy's looking at him like, that's suicide. What are you thinking? No one out of these, say, thousands of years of being stuck in this inverted matrix has ever come out of these spots, except for this one spot that is a guaranteed to ascend out, right? Okay. So then he says, I'm okay. I can do this. So, of course, his free will choice, the man lets him sit in his spot he chose, and he gives his spot to the guaranteed spot to this one male. As they reach the end of this river of death, what happens there is that it's a trap of robotic archons. So what happens is that it is like a valley, like an arena. Okay, so whoever is going to end up at this end of river, and understand that this is similar to what we've been going through in this inverted matrix, okay? This we bring for awareness because it has a very beautiful message that you're going to hear. Okay. So it's coming to its end, you can say, of like a kind of like a cliff of waterfall. It's coming to an end. At the end, what happens is that it reaches its end, and then it goes, you're directly inserted into this valley where the archons are waiting for everyone who is in that boat. As the man that the angel hidden among the people, that gave him his spot. At the end, what happens is that it's automatic. It springs him out like kind of like a spring, and he jumps and he leaps over the arena, ends up in this, and he almost doesn't make it to, say, a safety where he wouldn't be part of this archonic arena. And he's hanging over this cliff. And all the rest of the people, they're scared, of course, for their life, because they've watched, there's like these robot archons, soulless ones that are, as the people get off, because they watch this, right, in line waiting, This is graphic, okay? I'm letting you know. If you don't want to hear this, probably want to leave. These archons basically smell fear. So people who come in, of course, not going to be fearful of this. It's hard, right? They're watching. They are attracted to fear and will smell the fear. And then they go in. They're stuck there in this arena with these strong, gigantic, powerful, archonic, soulless robots. And they start going at the souls, at the people that come in, and they tear them apart. And they eat them. They're covered. They smell like old blood. It's disgusting. That's what they feed off. Souls, blood. In other words, is what they're explaining, is that they feed off light souls, and they're covered in blood. It's just really disgusting. And so this group, remember the one guy that sat in that spot that was safety, sprung forward, and he's almost over the arena. He's hanging off over the cliff, and he's watching this guy that gave up his spot for him, and these two other women and two other, two males and two sisters. And he's so taken back by the sacrifice that this one male said that he would give his spot to him, that he says, "No, I'm not leaving. I am coming back." This makes me emotional. So instead of choosing that path that was an automatic safety, he says, because someone was so kind-hearted to him, he chooses to come back. So as he's coming back, the one angel that is hidden amongst these people of lions starts telling these people, we're going to get out of this. And they said, no way, there's no way. How can we get past these no, we're going to get past this. We're going to get past this. This was like a prep talk right before, you can say this, all this happened right before they enter the arena. And he says, no, stay without fear, come out of fear. We can do this. We can do this. Okay. And they're like, there's no way. He said, watch me. We can do this. He starts moving his hands. And this is why we teach to use your hands in all our sacred alchemy. He starts moving his hands, making sacred alchemy symbols with his hands. When he starts doing that, energy starts coming out of it. And everybody is looking at him. And remember those rows that were over there that still had to pass the river. And they can see too from beyond the river. They can see all these rows and all these canoes are coming behind them, also about to pass this, say, river death, right? So they're watching this. They're like, what? They're like freaking out most beautifully because he's having some kind of electricity, some kind of energy happening with his hands, right? Okay. And all of a sudden he becomes, yes, energy, guys. Beautiful, right? Energy starts coming out of him and going through him. So this is what we talk about, using your I am source energy. And it starts exploding out of him, emanating out from him. And then he's telling them, you have the power too, as they're preparing to step into the arena. And then, yes, spread your love energy. And then they're like, they start rubbing their hands and they start moving their hands just naturally, organically, intuitively, right? And then they realize, oh my gosh, what? We can do that too. Okay. So then, this is so emotional. So then their energy is like different colors, and like, his energy is a specific color. Their energy is a specific color. And they're all basically activating their source energy through their hands. And as they're behind him doing this, he jumps at one of these archons. This one was in the shape of like this robotic dog, and he alchemizes, zaps the archon's head, and it falls to the ground. It's nothing anymore. So then the people in his, and then the other guy, remember, he's running back because he didn't want us the safety. He wanted to help his brother, and that helped him. He runs back and he starts with his energy too, and they remember. They had forgotten that they were superheroes. They had forgotten that they were this invincible power. I get emotional because like this is everyone on Earth. They had forgotten, okay? So everyone's lighting up their source energy, their power, and they're activated. Their abilities are activated, and the other people who are coming in the other canoes start seeing what he's doing, and they start rubbing their hands together, and they start using the force around them, and then basically they take down this arena. They're taking down this arena of Archon robots. Okay, but initially they didn't know that they had this power. They were in this inverted tunnel or inverted situation that kept them thinking that they were powerless, that they didn't have this infinite power ability of source. So they kept being stuck and being torn apart in so many traumatic ways, and recycled and recycled and recycled, right? So it wasn't until this beautiful angel was able to get through, showed everyone how you can use this energy within you, reminded everyone. And just like that, by that one example of a reminder, it activated everyone because they remembered. They believed. When they saw him doing it, they believed in themselves. And they started moving around like superheroes. Superheroes just putting their hands on these robots and zapping them and basically eradicating them, because remember, they're soulless. They don't have light. Archons don't have light. Okay? And boom, they would fall. Boom, they would fall. And as they were doing that, then more Archons would come. But it was okay because they learned. They overcame their fear. Remember, these Archons, they got a high off fear. They could smell fear. So when these people became sovereign beings of no fear, they were able to, once they got past the fear, they were able to activate their energies. And when they did, they were invincible, indestructible. And this is why you all are the power, the most powerful weapon. Okay? And they were just destroying them. There was a lot, but they were destroying all of them. And all these people that came behind him, that chose this organic path, too, kept going into the arena and destroying them, eradicating them. Do you all understand this? The reason why we're sharing this today is because this is the time right now. It's already happened. That is not just a dream. That has energetically happened within our organic shifting of the 12/21/2020 timeline, where the two world split. In order for that to happen, the 2/3 world split, that already happened. It's already happened. Now we are choosing to walk which path we want to walk. And we can choose within our I am source energy, our power, our abilities, whether, and then every person, by the way, had a different element. Some people had electricity, some people had fire, some people had water, some people had star energy, sun energy, gold, you name it, flowers, trees, whatever element that you can think of, they had that. And it's happened. It's happened. We have created this timeline for the collective. And I want you guys to understand that. We are there. It's already happened. And we are, you can say, like the arena right now, and we're eradicating these archons in many forms. Okay? It's happened. We're there. Do you all understand how amazing and powerful that is? That if you choose to be that, okay? Now, someone said I have electricity. Yes, you do. Now, so many different lessons taught through this specific journey and dream into the timeline split that happened that they shared. So humbly thank the angels for sharing that, and that beautiful one that was able to, beautiful angel that was able to see through and believe and not allow the fear to overcome him that created the ripple of everyone else to step foot. And something that they always share with me is that there was a recent dream, and they said, Aurora, they said, this is what you're doing. You're reminding people of this power. And then when we're reminding people of this power, then you're reminding your friends, your loved ones, everyone. Remember this power. That's what we're here to do. To self-activate one another, to love one another, to raise one another, not to separate, not to divide, not to live in fear. Okay. So since you all hopefully watch all the other videos, you know what I'm talking about with the two-third world split. You know what I'm talking about with the timeline wars, the inverted matrix, with that the video that we had with Laura Eisenhower. Okay. So then going into the two-third world split, I want you all to understand that even if you are, yes, a ripple effect, it takes is one, and a ripple effect, absolutely, that is going on right now. It is a ripple effect. No matter how many times they try to lie to us about this, we'll call it V, and this, plague that's occurring, they can't stop us. We know, we see, we sense it, we feel it, we smell it, we know, and you cannot alter what we know. Now, I want you all to understand that even though there is the two-third world split, right? The one, like we've always explained with the past videos, is that there is, the two circles that connect at the center, right? So even though, for example, we are, say, seeing the three-dimensional world around us, and we're seeing the inverted B timeline, right? Even though we're seeing this, it does not matter. You can choose to not walk that path energetically, just like those beings that activated their energies, right? You can choose to, yes, you have to acknowledge that it's there, because first it comes with awareness. You need to be very aware of, right? The inverted is here, you can say, matrix, and then the organic is here, and they're connecting here at the center, at the bridge. So you have to be aware of it to know it, so that you won't get pulled back into it, because up until Ascension splitting event will happen, the two worlds will continue to be conjoined at the center. So you don't want to pull yourself back. You don't want to fall into that river of death. No, and be recycled back. Okay? So do not consent to all forms of people trying to control you, people trying to tell you what to do, inorganic of any kind. You're sovereign. You do what your heart tells you to do. Now, so we're looking at the B timeline, right? And there's a lot of fear, tons of fear here, unfortunately, where people feel that they have to get the V to save their loved ones, which is absolutely ridiculous. I watched a video this morning on Facebook. Someone shared. I couldn't figure out how to share it. Facebook took the shareable option off it, but you might have watched it too. I'm going to try to figure out how to share it. And then I'll share it on my Telegram, by the way. If you're not on Telegram, join me, Rising Phoenix Aura. I have a group that you all can join and chat there. And then there's also a channel that I have there. So in this video, there was two guys talking, and there were some kind of officials, and one guy was telling the other guy, take off your mask. Have you heard, the V thing is at a, I have to talk in code, guys, you know that. So it is at a 0.1 of actual, like, say harmful. 0.1. He's like, take off your mask. And he's like, oh, wow. It was a conversation. And he's like, 0.1. Oh, wow. That's like as bad as they knew their numbers. That's just as bad as the flu virus. And then he said, yeah. And and then the guy's like, oh, must be a hoax, huh? And they're just chuckling about it. They're like, yeah, must be a hoax. Yeah. Okay, so I'll share that later on there. But there's so much fear because they think that they need to take this V thing to save their lives and save their loved ones, which we know is part of the control. So they are falling into, say, that river of death and drowning in it. And we could be almost even seen as we are within the canoes, we're walking both timelines. So we could be seen as the canoe here at the center, where we are maybe the hand that pulls them out of the water and pulls them, of course, without allowing someone though to infringe upon you, and if they don't want to listen, right? Yeah, the 3D is here, 4D is here where we're bridging, 5D is here, right? So we're bringing them out into the 5D. Okay. And then so what I want to explain to you, that even though these people are in fear and are walking this inverted matrix where they think they have to get the V in them injected, this is not part of your paradigm, and it's not part of your timeline, because you're walking the organic. You're aware, you're awakened, you're not consenting, you're hopefully, especially after this video, activating your I am source light, expanding it around you in many forms. There's many videos that we have on that. Playlists. I have a playlist under my YouTube channel. There's several playlists that makes it very easy for you to find things. This one is Spirituality for Beginners, where you can start using, and then some of these alchemies that we teach. And then also, of course, my Patreon, where we teach live every month. And then my website that has these classes and certifications and courses instantly available for you. Okay, so you're using your source in whatever element you are. So then you're able to see through, because you're putting a filter around you every day when you wake up, and then before sundown, you're putting this filter of your I am source, right? So then for example, your neighbor might be going through a struggle here where some kind of negative timeline is occurring within this B timeline. But even though, say, the T timeline is not, say, into the 3D, because the T timeline was a higher vibration, a 5D timeline, really. So even though that is happening, you can still walk your T timeline and of course, we're not speaking of T as a savior. We're grouping it as a positive timeline of sovereignty, empowerment. No, not consenting, right? So then you could walk your T timeline, and guess what? None of this inverted falseness can come into your organic timeline, because it's just not possible. It is not possible. Remember those beings remember that the archons would smell the fear? Walk your path fearlessness. creating and manifesting every day the potentials and living in it, breathing it, feeling it, smelling it, sensing it, envisioning it every day. Oh, hell no. I do not consent to your BS. No, thank you. Walk away to any inverted type of false belief system, false paradigm, false teachings, false whatever. You walk away from it, you cut cords from it, and you walk away from it. Okay? And you keep walking your most organic timeline. All right. You guys understand that? Doesn't matter. You're walking here. This will not, it will not cross over to your organic timeline, your 5-dimensional or higher organic timeline. It just cannot. It's not the right match. It's not the right vibration. It's not the matching vibration. The matching vibration will go here. The matching vibration will go here in the organic. It will go. It will only attract through the quantum world, quantum physics. You will only attract what you are a matching vibration to. You understand? Step out of it. Okay? All right, beautiful. So now we're going to answer questions. I hope this was, I talked a long time. Whoa, wow, that's a long time. Okay. Charge my laptop. Okay, so let's see what questions we could get answered while we are talking now. Okay, I'm going to answer as many as I possibly can because this is 1 hour. I'll see you next Friday though, right? Okay. Please share this video, share our YouTube channel, share it everywhere. Share. We're also on BitChute. We're also on brand YouTube. We're on Telegram now. Share, share, share. Because just like it's so activating and empowering for you, it will do that to others. Okay. All right. Here we go. It won't work. It will not work. It's not a matching vibration. Your source will transmute it. Because remember, you remembered that you had these abilities like these other people. You remember this. Okay, let's go. All right. Next, first question. When we die, do we get recycled back to the matrix or do we get to go back to the creator? Just wondering. Okay, it depends. Were you one of those beings that overcame fear and realized that you were the weapon against the archons, which are infinite love, light, source, energy? Or did you deny it? Did you deny the fact that there is negative entities out there and that there is archons out there and that have plagued us with a virus, you can say? And with that, you want to read Galactic Soul History of the book of the Universe book because it goes through that whole time. It goes through the timeline through all these different beautiful people who told the universe's journey, so you can understand that. Okay, it goes through that timeline there. But yes, so if you chose, and you chose to be clouded, you chose not to believe in it, you chose whatever. Because usually the archons make you believe that they're not in charge. They don't want you to, the archons make you believe that they're not existence. Let me correct that very clearly, that they're not existence. And then when you don't believe that they're not their existence, then you're ignorant to it, which means that you can't release yourself out of a cage if you don't know you're in it. In other words, then you yourself are keeping yourself locked in that cage. You are yourself are self-sabotaging yourself. So we know that the archons are here, not here, but they, come through the dimensions and pierce through the dimensions. Again, the book will explain that to you. And also Timeline Wars with Laura Eisenhower's video will explains that good as well, but the book explains it thoroughly. So if you choose to not use your source love light to activate yourself and come out and you be that most powerful invincible weapon, then you can, because if you're choosing not to come out of the cage, then you come right back in. And it's all about choice. Remember, that whole example is all about choices of crossing that river. What are your choices? Make the most beautiful, positive, heart-centered, not ego-based choices. Make them strictly from your heart. Every single choice you make. Let it be an embodiment, a birthing out from heart. Of course, always connecting to your intellectual higher mind, consciousness as well. Okay, so then, yeah, so if you didn't reach that high enough vibration, so for example, these people were stuck in this arena, having to go through this arena of archons, and they would come right back in again, back in again, back in again, right? Because they did not activate their source energy. They didn't know these abilities were of them. So in this, so then understanding these infinite possibilities and infinity of who you are and invincibility that you truly are. Okay, so once you do that, then yes, we're at that stage now where we have created the 5D, because it's happened. It's that earth, right? The two-third world split, it's there. So now we're choosing to go through that arena, get past it, and eradicate the archons in our lives that are trying to control us. You know, the negative bosses, the negative employees, the negative inverted, say, bad guys that have kept coming back in every time we came back in, and we choose to cut our cords to them and removing them. Now, with that, what I can tell you is that not everyone wants to be, saved. Not everyone wants to save themselves. So there's times that you cannot allow yourself to be pulled with them. And we talked about that in past videos already. Okay, next question. Who are the people we can actually trust currently and listen to for information about current happenings and situations ongoing? We had answered that last time. I can't share that information with you. Follow your heart. It depends. The truth is, anyone who I would listen to, I would only listen to them if they knew, if they actually believed in shielding and using their source energy to envelop themselves around it. Many people that you listen to don't even believe it, don't even activate their love light around them. They think that they can just, set invocations, but they won't use their own actual elemental energy around them. And then invocations are not even enough. You have to use the force around you, just like that example, expansion around you. You have to. Okay. Now, let's see. So me, that's what I would base it on, personally. I cannot tell you. I'm only here to give you guidance and glimpses of what the potentials of you are able to be within your most organic path. But everything is your choice, because I am benevolent. Okay, now the next question is, how can we discern between false light, new age infiltration concepts, or similar and divine truth, true light information that truly empowers us? That is a really, really hard situation, because drink some water. Because a lot of a lot of good stuff is given. Okay, so what the archons do is that they collect data in all forms through their negative piercing looking glass technologies. They collect it. So then they have a good amount of sacred teachings that they have, that then they download into infiltrated people. And then, so you listen to these people, and they're reminding me of this example. I ran into this video of this, I'm not going to go into, of course, who he is, of this being that has a very large amount of thousands of subscribers, and has high intelligence and really good information. And I just briefly kind of clicked on the video. And then because they told me to, and now I know why. And the information was really good. But then when I was listening to him, I felt no love. There was an emptiness, a coldness, no love. It was just intellectual. It was just knowledge. That's all it was. And there was something missing, an emptiness. What's missing? Infinite love within it. If you're not feeling infinite love from whatever you're listening to, why are you listening to it? Because it probably has some kind of false, it's going to have something integrated into that's false. Whoever you're listening to, if you really want an answer to this, truly, divinely, organically, then it's going to be someone who helps you, lift you with every message that they give you, that helps activate your soul and your heart, that assists you, that is a bridge to this infinite divinity within you, a sovereignty. If they're not doing that to you, then you want to question it and use your heart discernment. First, feel it. Feel it. Because there's no point in listening to knowledge that is plagued with coldness and emptiness, because then that has archon energy within it. And it's going to carry it to some point and extent archon infringement. Okay? So these are hard times. This is what it looks like. You know, the revelation, the beginnings of disclosure. This is what it looks like. You wanted to know what it looked like. This is what it looks like. But remember, we're walking our organic path. So it is okay. Now, okay, so I can tell you on that. The Schumann resonance has been reaching power 3,000 to 6,000. Wow, amazing. What does powerful movement express about Mother Gaia's rise through her ascension process? She is inflamed, engulfed. We talked about this in the prior video. She is engulfed in flames, the most etheric source within her, inside of her. Everything is helping her. The trees, the pillars of light, the clusters of crystals within the memory field of our very planetary sphere. And she is on fire and nothing is stopping her. So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a rise of energy, a rise of leveling up. It's hard for these people who are holding on to the false paradigm. They can't keep up anymore. They're exhausted. They're fatigued. They're perhaps having, unfortunately, stress or anxiety. They don't understand why. It's just that they can't keep up with the light that is being blasted every second of the day. Waves blasted from outside and from within. We are the light that is blasting the earth from within. And we are the most powerful transformations of earth, because our light is transforming her and evolving her. And we're seeing that through, yes, absolutely, the Schumann resonance, because it's her heartbeat, it's her life force, it's her frequency of life, it's her reading of life. Okay, next question. I feel an intense urge to leave the city right now and get closer to nature. I'm about to uproot my life and leave my apartment, and it's bringing a lot of fear. How can I let go and trust my intuition is telling me? This is really important. Right now, we are feeling, so many people I'm talking to, they're feeling the need to go to nature, or at least a location where they can have trees and they can actually hug. Follow your heart. When you decide to walk your most organic third world split, remember, everything, the universe, everything will fall into place. It is only you who is holding this back. You are self-sabotaging by the worry, by the fear. Remember the archons and what they fear, what they love, what they smell instantly is this fear, these lower vibrations. And you don't need any of that negative archonic belief system. Those are all false programming inserted like a program into our paradigm, our world, our timelines, not our timelines, our the inverted matrix. Choose to not walk that path because, in other words, you're choosing to hold on to that inverted matrix, even though you're getting this strong calling and intuition within your heart to let's go to nature, let's go here, let's wherever that is, where it's going to provide you nature, even at least maybe near a forest or a park where you're able to, forest preserve where you're able to. That is okay. So listen to yourself and let go and stop falling back to being controlled like those people in those lines that were controlled by the fear and did not know that they were powerful. Instead, choose to activate that energy, walk it, and say, no, 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 no. I do not consent. No, no. And every time you feel that negative programming, you say, no, no, no. Not happening. Last question. What do you do with friends who attack you for seeing the truth basically and question your state of mind? Do you remove these people from your life? What I can tell you is I had a recent reading where there was a beautiful gentleman and he was mentioning how he had this friend that he would go to that is a light worker, is awakened, but somehow she thinks angels are the bad ones. So according to her, which is this is a really good example. According to her, the angels are the bad ones because she said that she was doing some kind of Reiki healing on someone. I don't know what Reiki it was, but through Reiki, I know through my Reiki beginnings of Usui, they don't teach you to use force fields of shielding. They don't teach any of that. So she was doing Reiki on the person, and then she was getting all this was all this knowledge. She was like, "Oh wow, this is amazing! This is amazing! Wow, this is powerful." And then when she asked, it's like, "Oh, this being claimed to be an angel," and she asked, "What do you truly look like?" And when she asked that, the angel turned into this dark, negative black being. And so she thought that that meant that the angel was negative. No, because she was practicing a healing modality with no shields on her, and she allowed this entity, negative entity, to give her this downloads. This negative entity gave her a specific download and made her think that it was an angel when it was a demonic entity or a archon or a negative alien posing as an angel, pretending, because once you let them in and you're not shielded, they're going to tell you, "Oh yes, I'm an angel." "Oh yes, look at my angel wings." And then you fall for it. So in this example, what they showed me was that because this actual light worker thought that this was, they claimed, they're a light worker, that the angels are bad and they're the ones that keep us here. Again, that's archons will tell you that because they want to keep you stuck, because the minute you believe that angels are who are keeping you here, you keep yourself here, because in the beginning of creation, the source created angels. They were the first race of creation. So everyone has a piece of an angelic energy within you. So now you, by believing this, now you've kept yourself in prison because you're an angel in some form that then expanded multidimensionally through an infinity of different races. Okay. So then by believing that, so then understanding with this example, so what they were showing me is that he said, "I don't know what to do. If I love my friend, probably they've been friends for a while, going to her, but I feel like she's constantly kind of like trying to make me say, come over to her side." They think that they're trying to save you because to them, they have a downloaded inverted matrix program in them, and they think they're trying to save you from whatever, negative download they gave them. And then he says, "I'm exhausted. I come out, I'm like drained." So what I told him, well, What his higher self showed me was, well, what do you want to do? So what they're showing me is specifically when you go there is you're in a battle. You are in a literal battle. They showed me you with a sword and you're protecting yourself and you're, coming out of there like you just came out of a battle because you did. You're exhausted. So it's your choice. Go ahead and go visit her again, but know that you're going to be in a battle again. And yes, you have guides. Yes, you have benevolent soul families. Yes, you have your higher self. But at some point, at what point are you going to say, no, I'm not going to give consent to walk into this battle every single time with this friend? If you can't help them see, no matter how long you've tried, sometimes you need to just let go. Because they will continue wanting to battle. And their archons are going to want to continue feeding off your light. And that's why you're exhausted. All right. Thank you all so much. Thank you for being here. It has been such a joy and an honor again. By the way, these teachings, we have a retreat, a online retreat workshop, March 7 for 5 days, where you learn how to self-heal yourself, how to also be the bridge for others to self-heal themselves and remove these inverted from within yourself and others. Interested in that? I'd love to see you there in our workshop live that we'll be hosting. You can find more information about that under my website, risingphoenixaurora.com, where you can actually sign up for it. And as buy the book as well, Galactic Soul History of the Universe. It has been such an honor to be here with you. Check me out on Patreon, and I will see you in Telegram and all that we mentioned. I will see you all next Friday, 1 p.m. Central Time. Love you, honor you, and respect you. Thank you. Thank you for being you, and thank you for being here on this most beautiful day. I love you with all that I am.